Here to cover a match between Tracer and RTT. So these are both pretty strong attacks. You do have Baker, Page, Champion's going to be good with either or both of these, or against, with and against these. Goat helps you thin early, so that's good. Star chart with the Traveler, but I also think you kind of want these. Mission going to work well with Baker, with Margrave and Old Witch and Goat and Page. There is a lot of stuff going on. Um, what do you want to do? I know is so sure. Well, you get Page, and then I think you spring for a 5. I think that's worth it. I think you get Margrave. Yeah. I could see Old Witch. It might be better. I'm really not sure. Tracer just going straight for the mission, which is also like a reasonable thing that you can think about doing. I think you probably want a silver. RTT just goes for Star Chart, which makes some amount of sense. Did he skip Page? He did. That doesn't seem right to me. This mission is doing a lot of work. And yeah, well, basically RTT is going to, or Tracer just, he just seems massively ahead. All of this missioning is just so huge. This should probably be Page mission. And you stick the Page on top. Yup. This isn't so bad for RTT. I could actually see the Old Witch maybe being better than the Margrave here. I don't know. It's kind of close. Tracer, yeah, obviously there's no choice here. Um, he probably doesn't trash anything and just buys a mission here. Sticks the hero on top. Yeah. Gets a gold. Does trash now. Obviously can't buy anything. It's nice that you can buy the star chart in your mission turn, which is really probably something you should do. Rather than just getting the star chart off the bat. I think that's probably a big optimization. Saves you almost a full turn. Kept hero around rather than champion, which I guess he needs just enough econ that makes some sense. But I would be wanting to get champion so I could get more draw. But that would also mean that I would want to be getting like another page to get another hero, so that I can really explode my payload. Either that or just go for treasure maps as the payload speed. Either way would probably be good, but I would be wanting to get champion here, really. And he gets it here. Yeah, this is just looks really good for Tracer here. I don't know that. Yeah, I think at this point probably getting another hero isn't worth the time, and I'd just be looking for like treasure map stuff, possibly a workshop. Um, Definitely be getting more Margraves here pretty quick. Um, yeah, so this is interesting. You could have 8. You could not spend your mission, or you could take a mission. Um, yeah, I think this makes sense to not take a mission, and because he has the 2, getting the page is fine. RTT here. Um, I don't know. Actually, the treasure hunter is going to be pretty good. Pretty good for Tracer here in a second. Here you can have 9. He's going to go down to 8. Gets the 2 maps. Yup. I was wondering whether you could like get Margrave map there and then the next turn go map mission, but I don't know that it makes a ton of difference. He's going to have a lot of payload very, very soon, so he's going to need to be getting more draw here in a second. And then it's going to be very close to being time to just green already. RTT just too far behind to really do much, I think. He probably takes another Margrave and Page here, but there's just not a lot to be done. Pixie, I guess trying to get lucky with a Pixie makes some amount of sense. Not exactly sure what luckiness you can get. Play the map next, yeah. And then, I mean, now's as good a time as any to treasure hunter. You really don't need this much econ. Huh. Given that, I'm not sure exactly that I would have flipped the treasure hunter, or I at least would have thought about it. This probably makes sense, but he should really start greening very quickly here. RTT goes map, and now we'll have to see what he. Okay, he goes map, map, and then he's going to get an imp. Yeah. Um, at this point, I'm not sure what you really can do with your mission. You should play warrior. I guess it doesn't matter. Um, well, you should play warrior. Okay. I again would have been counting money more than this. Uh, Given where this is, Margrave, Margrave. Wow, all these Margraves? I'm not really seeing that, I guess. It seems like overkill to me. It's probably totally fine, because he is so far ahead. Obviously, he's going to be able to triple province this turn, and it just gives him reliability. So this is perfectly fine line. Um, Hero for a gold. Margrave, you have all this money. It's triple province, double pixie. RTT doesn't have enough money to triple. You have 7 golds. RTT has 5. You have more silvers also. RTT simply cannot triple. Um, right? RTT has 5 golds, 1 silver. So that's 17 money. If you're really worried, you could just take a break and double and go like double Old Witch Pixie, which is probably better, or double Old Witch Patron, because you will be able to next turn get enough points to seal the game regardless. Not a big fan of the Bakers rather than the Old Witches, but it's not going to matter. Like 3 provinces more will seal the deal. Even if you can't quad, you will have enough points that you're never getting caught up. But okay, whatever. It's not going to matter. RTT should, I guess, I don't know. I was going to say should just double. I think that's right, because he just has to hope for some kind of a dud that can only single. I don't really know if he can hope for much of anything. But yeah, this is the game. Tracer seemed to be leading from coast to coast there. The biggest difference I can see is opening, right? Page and then mission, and then you can get your star chart on the mission turn is like a pretty big deal. But that game went moved very quickly. We get another pixie board. We get Black Market. King's Court is a very powerful card in Village. Remake can help you thin quick along with your goat. Um, I would not be opening Black Market, I don't think. I'd really like to get my draw up before I go hunting, but it's more reasonable to get an early Black Market here than normal, I think. The real problem is you need to be able to hit enough money to get to King's Court a couple times before you do a ton. So that's the real issue that you have to navigate here. I do think I like the remake. Uh, Noble Brigand could be a last resort if your opponent's getting ahead of you and you need to try to snipe some econ off them. I expect this is probably a black market. I think silver is actually quite reasonable because you're going to be a little bit terminal issue stuff. He just gets another pixie. I'm a little bit suspect of that, and by suspect of that, I mean suspect of it. Um, yeah, that is a nice thing about black market. Um, that you can get like a 3 and a 2 for something like that. That is a nice boon. You can get silvers here, a silver and a black market, sure. River's Gift is which one? It's a visual bug. Plus a card at the end of turn. Um, yeah, so he's going to have a very large hand the next turn. Oh, which is really nice. Although encampment's also really nice. I have to think for a moment. The ducat could even be. Um, I have to think for a moment because he's going to have his whole deck pending what he gets here next turn. So getting the ducat, trashing a copper makes sense. Buying a silver. Buying another black market I don't like. He wants to have a 7 money. The black market just isn't going to do anything for him here. And the silver would have. Yeah, I don't like getting the second black. Wait, he didn't. What did he get? Never mind. What am I saying? He bought a pixie. Yeah, no, that's fine. Um, you're not going to take any of these things. You just want to get King's Court. I'm. I would think about trashing my remake at this point. Yeah, and he does. And you don't buy this, obviously. You just take a King's Court, and you're quite happy. And you're gonna look to get more King's Courts coming up. Either kinging your pixie or your black market. Um, but yeah, just getting some King's Courts and then buying a bunch of action cards and trying to win the game that way. I guess you can print something at some moment, but it doesn't seem particularly good here. And I don't know that it's particularly good in normal, but I think it seems even worse here. 5. Apprentice is probably worth it. Maybe it isn't. Tactician. Oh, well, Tactician makes sense with the black markets. Well, double Tactician would. Single Tactician, I don't know that it makes a ton of difference. Sea's Gift was nice. Stone Mason seems excellent, right? This is 6, 7. Yeah, that doesn't work. He can't Stone Mason for King's Courts because you can't use coffers in the black market phase. It's not really a phase, but you know what I mean. Rogue doesn't seem so good given that you've trashed what you've trashed. Sculptor is possible. I would say just get another King's Court, but given that he trashed the Pixie, it doesn't have a ton that he's doing with it. Oh, of course, he has this. You slam the bridge. You slam the bridge here. You slam the bridge here. It's fine not having another King's Court. It's just too good. And then you just buy another Pixie. Yeah, so this is fantastic for RTT. Oh, this is a pretty good Pixie thing. I imagine you take this because you're going to be playing your Tactician here, and he takes a silver, and there goes. Okay, RTT still seems way ahead to me. Um, Wisps seem good enough. You don't take that. You probably don't take Forests, but you do a little bit of math. You know that you have 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, he's going to be able to get a King's Court if he wants it. So I don't think I would smash this button. And King's Court is what he wants. He's not going to take anything from the black market unless it's Outpost. And like trashing the Pixie there doesn't help on that account. Um, I guess he can take a 3 now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, he can take a 3 here. I don't think. I think I'd rather have the Pixie, though, than, say, the Masquerade here that he can get. I'm not sure whether you trash Stonemason or Copper. I lean towards the Copper, but I'm not real sure. Obviously, you don't know what you're going to hit there, so it's not just a trivial question, but particularly because he got the Wisps, that makes the Pixie even better. So there's Forests again. How much money is Tracer going to have here? I don't know, but he apparently does. 13, 14, 15, 16. I assume this is just going to be double King's Court, but he could take Old Witch King's Court and a 4. The 4 would probably be Remake. Wow, Treasury does not seem worth it to me. And no 4 also seems, no 3 or 4 also seems a little bit odd to me. Wow, RTT just kinged the Wisp right away, which I don't know about. Here he can discard 2 2s and draw them with the Wisp. I think you do that. But yeah, you can king and do this first. Only costing 1. Oh, he can take Ironworks here. Yes, yes, yes. And you hopefully start to like do things like Ironworks King's Court. So I'm pretty sure that should be the play. Yup. Ironworks a King's Court. And now by King's Court and Catacombs. I think Catacombs is the next best thing to get. Though it's possible that it's better to get like a... Oh, I like Catacombs better than Patrol. You're not getting much value out of it, but I mean, it kind of sets up your Wisps, but King, King, Patrol doesn't matter. You're gonna King Bridge. I would look for pile outs, honestly. There might well be one. That's another reason why I like. Oh no. Oh no, this is fine. Um, King's Courts, King's Courts, King's Courts. King's Courts, 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 Hunting grounds. Take a hunting grounds here. Take a hunting grounds here. Um, and when you king stonemason, I mean, he can win at leisure on later turns, but oh, messenger will help. He hasn't bought anything yet, so this is the first buy in a turn. He could say give out king's courts. Yup. Now he can take a tunnel to be his points, and then yeah, he should just be able to buy out the last king's court in the black markets here. No, he's short one buy. So take a remodel here. You need to draw more cards. Yeah, and now just king the remodel. Yeah, there's just like anything wins. Um, I guess he probably didn't even need the remodel, but sure. All right, two pretty quick games. Do. Okay. I just had a little bit of a panic that I didn't have my audio set up right, but I did. Hooray! Fool's Gold looks strong per normal. You probably don't want to rush it per normal. Catapult looks strong per normal. Junk Dealer helps a bit. Wharf obviously strong. Usually. Crossroads is the only village is interesting though. Um, yeah. So that's what makes this board interesting to me. Otherwise, it would just be kind of a boring. You're running to get everything. Pilgrimage also pretty nice. Um, I think you probably open something like Catapult Magpie. You want to get probably one junk dealer and then a bunch of wharves. You, now with three is an interesting call because I don't particularly think you want a second catapult. You could just get a crossroads already, maybe. Maybe the second catapult's fine. I don't know. I guess you can get the crossroads here. As tracer you can, that is. I'd be looking at the workshop here, possibly pilgrimage, possibly, I don't know. Yeah, and so I would think you'd be getting crossroads there. Yup, exactly. And now I'd probably actually just start chomping fool's golds. You want to keep attacking. These states aren't so bad since you're relying on crossroads a fair bit. Yeah. Okay. So what's coming up here? His last four cards are one estate, um, magpies. Yeah, okay. I was wondering whether he should traveling fair something, but this seems better. Um, I expect RTT to take a fool's gold here, and then I don't know what he's going to do with his workshop. Oh, oh, he's top decking a gold instead. Interesting. I don't think I like it, but it could be worse. I like the fool's gold line. You're going to be drawing a lot eventually here. Wharf for sure. Well, he might junk dealer, but I think Wharf, yeah. Because the crossroads makes that a lot more appealing. I continue to like the Fool's Gold. RTT here. No, this is exactly what you keep, of course. Well, I guess he could have maybe kept a Crossroads to cycle a card. That might have been worth it. I'm not sure. Um, buy another Fool's Gold here. He is going to need to hit 5 at some point, but he should be able to do that. I assume this is going to be a trash of the copper. Now we'll see what RTT does with 4 again here. Could be Traveling Fair to top deck something. Could just be kind of anything, like another Workshop, a Marauder. Marauder makes some amount of sense. Wow, this is really bad draws from Tracer here. Who really needs to be getting Wharf going. RTT doing the top decking gold thing again. Here's going to be the Wharf for Tracer. I assume he keeps the Wharf and discards the catapults here if he gets attacked, which, well, he will. Should be another Wharf here for RTT, I think. And another card. Oh, he's top decking Junk Dealer. I would have wanted a Wharf. Oh, he already gained it because of the Marauder. Yeah, he still gets the... No, this makes sense then. Being able to take the Imp is a big deal. So now their draws are going to be set up. RTT is a little bit better on that front, and Tracer is going to need to be getting a Junk Dealer to deal with these Ruins. The game is reasonably likely to ending on piles, with Fool's Golds and the Ruins pile both being pile-outable piles. Getting this hand is going to be real good for Tracer, though. Yeah, this makes a big difference. Well, he's definitely going to play Survivors, and I would do that first. That's probably worth... Okay, maybe it's not worth keeping. I don't know. I think I'd catapult a copper here. And then you have 7, and you can buy Junk Dealer and Fool's Gold and take an Imp. Imp is a little bit less great than normal because there aren't that many things that you can play off of it. He can't top deck here if he does that, but I think it's worth it anyway. You want to get the attack in, and you want to get an Imp more than you want to get a second Crossroads is actually perfectly reasonable because you're going to need to have those. Yeah. What he should discard here should be the catapult, and I'm not sure, assuming that that's going to be a consideration, and it's not because RTT can't attack him here. RTT gets a silver. I'm beginning to like Tracer's position more and more because I believe in the power of the Fool's Golds. Yeah, another Wharf. Oh, yeah, so well, this should be Catapult, but I don't know what you trash here. I guess he's probably going to trash the village. And then with 14, you definitely get Wharf and a Junk Dealer. I would have thought about whether I wanted to top deck all this stuff before I just ran ahead and bought stuff. He's going to have, yes, and now he's wanting to undo all that. So he's going to do that. He's probably going to top deck the Wharf the junk dealer and take a fool's gold that he doesn't top deck, I'm guessing. Top deck the imp also. Yeah. Yeah, this seems real good. He knew that there was a crossroads down here. RTT does have a lot of spoils, so that's his biggest advantage, I think. But he is having the fewer crossroads is going to start hurting him. I think discarding the wharf makes sense there. You're going to imp on crossroads as the first thing in your turn. Um, well, unless you can imp on magpie, that would be better, obviously. Which actually you will likely be able to. Province, yeah, province seems necessary there. Um, Fool's golds are very close to running. So you imp on magpie. You're a little bit sad to get this draw, but it's not the worst thing ever. You get a magpie, magpie, magpie. You junk dealer the survivors. I'm not sure between the survivors and the mine. I don't think it really matters very much. I don't think getting a sculptor is really going to come up. So Tracer has the exact number of wharves he wants to have. He basically has the deck he wants to have. You catapult this copper here. 5 buys is not enough to end this game. You gotta trash the copper here, I think. But you should work out the math on how much money you have. So this is gonna be one province. I think you just double province. Oh, I'm a little bit worried about this. No, this is probably fine. So you get a province here and a pilgrimage? Is 2 Fool's Golds risky at all? I don't think RTT can make enough money. It would have to be like 19 money. He didn't use his money at all. You should at least buy the pilgrimage, even if you're probably not going to use it. Yeah, no, I think buying the pilgrimage seemed like the best play there. This does not seem like a great play to me. Okay. RTT has gotten a lot of work in from this. I might trash the workshop here. More imps aren't going to do that much for you. I guess the second crossroads is a consideration. Ugh, this looks pretty ugly though. I don't even know what you can buy here. I guess only having 0 wharves in play is a bad deal. Whoa. Going after Fool's Golds now is interesting. Kill the DW here. Yep. Wharf. Yep. So this should be province. Let's see. He can traveling fair, province, Dutch, province, crossroads maybe. Yeah. You kind of want to top deck a crossroads. I don't like getting that many junk dealers or the Fool's Gold. Like, I think that the way that Tracer loses this game is if it goes short. So I don't like that decision for Junk Dealer and Fool's Gold there. Um, he also doesn't have that much junk. Um, okay. Now RTT trashes the other catapult. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. 4 buys, 16 money. I think you just double province. Yep. So play through all of these magpies, given that you didn't get to your imp before the first one. Now you can imp crossroads. Imp the junk dealer. Wharf. Play wharf here. Junk deal. Now you imp a catapult, probably. Um, okay, you can do that, but what are these last 3 cards in his deck? There's the third junk dealer, another estate. You probably catapult here. Okay. 28. Yeah, this is plenty of money. You just buy out the provinces. Yup. The Fool's Gold. The Fool's Gold was just the better econ source there, really. I think that was really the difference in the game. Also getting the fourth wharf was a big deal. Um, handled pretty well by Tracer. We see Fool's Gold again on this board. Gear is an exceptional bane to Young Witch because, well, actually I shouldn't say that. It's really good in terms of it's a really good card. Um, on the other hand, it stays out, so you're less likely to have it in your hand to some extent. I think it's good enough that you just skip the Young Witch because you'd also like different fours here, like Research, which I'm not a huge fan of, but seems good enough here as the only thinning and a way to do some stuff. Um, Scouting Party is reasonable. I don't know if I would have taken it there. I'm not. Oh, he'd researched a copper. Okay. Okay. What are you doing here besides all this stuff? I could see you playing with Horde. I could see you playing with Fool's Gold, and playing some kind of a money deck. There is no extra buy, which is why I would be less inclined to be doing something fancier with a lot of draw, Mountain Village, and Patrol. Um, so I think I would be playing some variation on gear money, probably with a research. Um, and then I would be deciding whether I want to do it with Fool's Golds, Hordes, or both. Um, Certainly, Scouting Party is something you can use at various points in that kind of a deck as well. Um, I'd probably be playing with one research. I don't really like the second one. I assume you set aside those cards here. You can Scouting Party and get a Fool's Gold or something like that. You can get the Mountain Village and be going for the draw this way, but I'm not a huge fan. I think that. Well, oh, so that's a very good point. It looks like, yeah. So what they get to do here, what he's doing here is windfalling. Um, yeah, that's actually very plausibly faster than the Fool's Gold or Horde plays that I was talking about. Except RTT doesn't have enough money. because he's over trashed. So now he takes a silver, I guess. Yeah, turn 6 windfall is pretty convincing on that front. Obviously, you just set aside some golds here. You gotta, I can't tell how much money he has in his hands. Obviously, you probably can't tell either. It looks like he has all three of his golds, a research, and some number of coppers. And what you'd like to have, he has 5 coppers in his deck. If he has all of them in hand, then I wouldn't have done it this way in that case. Um, I don't quite understand this. Patrol, I'm not a fan. I think you should just green or possibly get a horde there. But I don't like building with the patrol. Um, I do kind of like the horde play. But he should be able to province basically every turn. RTT gets his windfall. Um, ugh, that's kind of gross to be putting back, but I guess he has enough money he can scouting party. Dump the coppers, keep the gear, buy a province. You should definitely be buying province here, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the patrol. Might as well play the village. Research a copper. And I think probably just straight into buying provinces for RTT. Yeah, that's what he does. And this is pretty gross for Tracer. Um, Set aside research in copper, I assume. Yup. Province again. Yeah, RTT. So we got behind with the windfall business, but the way that he's constructed his deck, I kind of like a little bit better. Um, wow, is Tracer really that over trash that he needs all of his golds in order to be able to province? If so, that seems pretty bad. Assume you take the gold here and then probably just research a copper. Don't play the gear. Oh. Oh, wow, this worked out quite well. I guess he's still unlikely to be able to province again next turn, though. No. No, the way that the mountain village works, he actually has this set up pretty well, right? So you mountain village and you take, yeah, and you set aside a gear here with a gold. You look for your spot, right? Um, and this is not a good spot to try to just break with the duchy dance. So, yeah. Now, this is probably also not a good spot for RTT. So, because this is going to be gold set aside again, and a duchy. And he knows basically that that's gold set aside again. But at the end of the day, RTT does have this one estate. So I think you set aside gold, possibly gold gear, I guess. He could research, he can scout. I'm not sure if either or both of those is good. Probably just this one. Because now the after duchies, Tracer can win seems wrong. After duchies, RTT can win, right? Well, I guess they go. What? No. This doesn't make sense. So they like blitz through estates. Somehow, though, Tracer is just. Yeah, that extra turn was a big deal. I don't know what this card is for Tracer here. It's the research, and you do want to skip that. RTT should take the gear here, obviously. Play the gear, set aside gear, and copper, I believe. Buy a duchy. Maybe he shouldn't have set aside the copper and should have scouted instead. I don't know, it's kind of tough. Tracer goes for the estate. The young witch is a really good point, but I'm not sure. Not sure about it. Their decks aren't like super reliable at this point. Fortunately, like for RTT, he uh, he only kind of needs 2 money. He's getting a young witch here, or he's gonna scout. He wants to set something else aside now. He's still in his mode of thinking he needs 5 all the time. So you set aside those and just buy an estate. Okay. Tracer is in a tough spot here. He researches gold. Wait, that doesn't work, does it? Like, I guess he has enough coppers left that he can kind of still buy province, but researching the gold seems awful. So now RTT scouts. Wasn't the best scout ever. Oh, the second one was so bad. Buys an estate, right? Yeah. RTT is going to be set up to province. Maybe shouldn't do it this turn though. Tracer could windfall. Um, he should not. I don't think he has the time for that. I think Explorer would have been a better choice than the Patrol. I think really that choice of Patrol is kind of what let RTT back in the game. And I don't know how many coppers are. Potion doesn't make much sense, right? The real problem for Tracer is that, uh, okay. So you take Mountain Village, and then you take Gear, and you draw two cards, and then you need to draw two. Uh-uh. Two golds. Oofta. Um, yeah, I don't think this was right. So you buy an estate here. Yeah, that doesn't seem the best. I think picking up the mountain village actually was probably bad. Okay, so this is a scout, and then the patrol. But actually having the gold there, he only has he can't province, and RTT should know it. RTT gets there here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think taking the patrol was a mistake because it just wasn't the best five or six or seven. Like a gold would have been better, a horde would have been better, an explorer would have been better. But then I also think researching the gold was a mistake because it just left him needing about a perfect hand to be able to province. Um, and I think that's what allowed RTT to win that game. Um, I also think, well, I'm not entirely sure about the whole mountain village business and such to start with. I'm not 100% sure regarding the windfall business at the beginning, although I think they probably played that part at least as well as me. I'm not a huge fan of the second research, though. Um, anyway, let's move on to this game. Uh, secret tunnel or secret passage can set up your tunnel for your farming village in order to activate it. That is a stupid, cute trick which should not come into play here. The principal thing you're doing is probably remodeling your estates into conclaves and farming villages, drawing a bunch with the werewolves. Um, actually, maybe that's not good or fast enough, and it's better to do like conclaves and treasurers like they're doing. Jester seems like a reasonable card also. Jester Fortune Teller is kind of sort of a combo, but I don't understand. I understand the sombrero comment. They each played their conclave. Okay, well, whatever. Um, skipping all that from Tracer is good for RTT, of course. Gets a remodel. So, yeah. Um, against the fortune teller, you're a lot more apt to want to. Actually, fortune teller seems pretty important here because of Jester. Jester seems reasonably okay anyway. I think I would have triggered that shuffle. And I assume. Well, this is actually a tough choice. I wouldn't hate provincing all that soon. Um, I agree that trashing the copper is probably a little better there. Slapping misery down's pretty good. Fortune teller into werewolf by like I'd be wanting to get a jester. Oh, he has one already. Then yeah, no, this actually seems pretty good. Silver into a 5, another werewolf. Uh-huh. Another village. Uh-huh. Okay. And I'd really be looking at starting to green pretty soon. It's just really hard to get all that thin here. Um, the werewolves are nice, but yeah, so here I expect this to be a trash. You're going to turn this into another farming village. And I would buy province. And I'd be a little bit sad that I don't have a jester yet, but I'd buy the province anyway. Village. Werewolf again. Village. Werewolf again. Werewolf again. No, you don't werewolf again now. You remodel your estate into a village. You play your treasurer. You trash a copper, and you buy a province. Yeah, I'm not real sold on the treasure remodel thing. I think it's just so many terminals, and it's just kind of too fancy, too overwrought to actually do. We'll see, because this is what Tracer's going to try, but I don't particularly believe in it. Um, yeah, okay. Plague is nice for him. Jester next. Yep, that's really good to hit. You do nothing here so that you can buy province. Oh, no, there's a silver in the trash. You definitely take silver then, yeah. Never mind. That's just a good thing to do. Um, yeah, what you choose to conclave doesn't matter too much because they only have the one conclave. This is going to be what? Remodel the curse? It's going to be, no, it's going to be treasurer back. The silver. Remodel the silver into a remodel. Yup, draw it, and now remodel the silver again into a village. Some kind of village, right? The problem, of course, being that RTT is going to take the silver out of the trash. Um, he definitely needs more villages, though. So I expect either farming or conclave here. He takes the last werewolf. I'm not a huge fan of that. Hitting RTT's remodel is... Actually don't know how important that is quite, but it seems good. I think RTT is ahead, but I could be woefully mistaken about that. You take that farming village and be very happy, RTT. I wouldn't have played the Jester yet, though. I don't know what these last 5 cards are. That's probably what he's thinking about to figure out whether he wants to draw more or not. It's the Treasurer, and I don't remember what else. I would really lean towards playing a werewolf here, though. I guess this would be a reason to not play the werewolf first. Okay, he just wants to get a lot of hexes in. Um, greed is a good thing to give. Locusts, I don't know about after greed, but okay. What does poverty do? Discard to 3. Okay, no, that's also good. Because RTT has the key, Actually, this is fine. He's going to be able to buy province here. Um, so now Conclave gets played. Takes the silver back. Remodels Curse into Estate. Buys a province. Trash a copper. Didn't trash a copper? Well, now you just have to hope that your hex is good enough. Buy estate hex. Although none of these hexes that are left do that much, I think. I'm trying to remember what is left. Haunting. That's okay. That's probably the best one that was left. Werewolf. Probably Jester here. Okay. Well, you buy Duchy, of course, and you hope that these hexes do a lot. What's Fear? I don't remember all these. You have to discard. Oh, that would have also have been an okay one. I think it wouldn't have been as good, though. Gives Greed again. Okay. The order on Farming Village versus Werewolf there was important-ish because of, yeah. So this should be Remodel Silver into Duchy, Treasurer by Duchy. Or, whoa, he just remodels the Treasurer. Okay. Um, he could have played for a win if he would have, like counted on Misery coming up, but I don't think you can count on that. Maybe you have to. This is game for RTT. Um, it would have had to have been exactly Misery, and there was only a 1 in 11 chance. If you think your chances are that low, then obviously you go for it, but I don't think that it was. So I think it was right to not just straight up go for. Also, maybe I'm counting his action plays left wrong. So apologies if I'm doing incorrectly on that. Okay, we move into the next game. Leprechaun is a weird obelisk pile. Groundskeeper and Leprechaun and Tragic Hero and Chariot Race and Bishop. There's a lot of other points here besides provinces, and I don't particularly see a great way to just like province out, so you should be building here for a while. And the question is just what you're doing at the end of that. There is no thinning other than Bishop. Um, so that's kind of interesting with it all. I expect a lot of Lost Cities to go. Chariot Race has some minor synergy with Citygate. I don't particularly believe in it though. I don't or believe in opening Chariot Race. That is, I'd want a silver. I want to start getting fives. I want to get a lot of fives. I want to mostly get Lost Cities. I think. Although the thing about Lost Cities is that yeah, it helps your opponent hit 5-2. 5 as well, not 5-2 like a 5-2 split. Um, okay. RTT has the first Lost City. He also has the City Gate, so he has the city synergy going on there. Um, Lost and Gate, the Lost City Gate. Um, you definitely are going to play for Leprechaun. You stick the Lost City back. You play the Chariot Race. Boom. Yeah. I think if you're going to go for Chariot Race, you really need to be getting an early Lost City for it to make sense. Tragic Hero. What do I think about Tragic Hero? You want a Lep, but yeah, not not this early. I'd be wanting more Lost Cities, I believe. Um, At some point, also, you're going to want to thin down with bishop. It's just a the tough thing is it will thin your opponent about as much as it's going to thin you. Um, Eventually, well, I don't think it's going to get into chariots and groundskeeper. Like you will eventually. You're not going to get into a stalemate here. I'd get another lost city. Yeah. This also is going to let him. Which one is rivers? It's going to let him stick that back now. Whether fortunate or not for him, the tragic hero and the chariot race come together. So sticking it back was less good than it could otherwise potentially have been, but I still think RTT has a good position here. Good-ish anyway. Mostly because there's the extra lost city. This hero's gonna pop, but you gotta play it anyway. You take the gold, it's fine. Play the bard, probably, yeah. That wasn't the worst wins gift ever. And probably take Chariot Race Lost City. You need to get your draw up. Oh, that's right. He lost his hero, so he probably needs to get it back. That does make sense. So he's going to have a Chariot Race on top, which he gets to draw, and then stick the gold back, which will win the race unless this is a gold bot from Tracer here, because gold is a more expensive card than actually even if he does, because there's 7 cards left in Tracer's deck. So he knows that he's going to win this Chariot Race here by sticking the gold back. Definitely trash the copper. I still want to get more lost cities here if I'm RTT. I want to build more than this. I don't think that you can start provincing yet on this board. There's too many other points going around. I think you're going to trash the copper to a... Assuming Tracer plays bishop here, I think you would trash a copper. But Tracer seems to be over terminal. He has like 1 lost city, 1 mining village, 2 tragic heroes, the bishop, the bard. Obviously, you're going to discard all 4 of those. So he needs to be getting more villages. And I think Lost City is a better village for him than mining villages. So yeah. You stick a 5 back, doesn't matter which one. I guess this is slightly better. Oh, this is a good boon. This is a good boon. So now, mining village leprechaun or mining village chariot race? Yeah, okay. Knowing the correct order to sequence your bards and stuff is a little bit tricky. So he has 3 buys here. You got to count your money to figure out what you want to trash. In general, I think you're a little bit leaning more towards trashing coppers than estates because the chariot races are important. Yeah, maybe that's just not true. You just trash the estate anyway. 11 here, so I expect this is going to be calculated, and that looked calculated. Um, Actually, the opposing bishop saved the tragic hero here. So this should be... You're never going to have a ton of buys. I think I would not have gotten Lost City and Tragic Hero there. I would have started picking up Groundskeepers. I think I probably would have gone Lost City Groundskeeper. But I'm not sure. You trash the estate here for sure. Stick back the Lost City, of course. hero, chariot race, village, and now you can play your bard and your bishop. And I think, oh no, well, that doesn't exactly work. 5, 8. Yeah, this doesn't get you out of the tragic hero popping. Earth's Gift is the discardy one that's really good. That even lets you play the tragic hero. That is amazing. Yeah, I'm not sure there between chariot race and village. Um, but I'd be looking at something like groundskeeper, chariot race. I'm not as huge of a fan. I guess he's just not going to worry too much about the groundskeepers, but RTT has a lost city. That's a good thing to have on top. RTT's deck looks a little bit better to me. This hero will pop if it gets played here. Getting the gold there is nice. Trash the copper with this. And then you bishop in a state. And it's very nice for him that RTT doesn't have anything to trash here. He trashed the estate. Okay, so he's done the math and he really wants the money. So he wants 13. Why does he want 13? Is he going to get the last chariot race and 2 5s? He is. I guess it could be a 4 and a 6, but I assume this is 2 5s. I guess it could also be an 8 and a 2, but that would really not make sense to me. What are the 2 5s going to be? Groundskeepers, both. Okay. Yeah, stick anything back but the chariot race here. Um, you're going to bard pretty quick here because you want to see if it's like the discard 3 cards for a gold. That would be really good. You got to pop one of these here, take a gold. You probably pop another one. And then that sets up your chariot race, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would pop another tragic hero here. And then that sets up your chariot race. Get another gold. Now you play your chariot races. And now, I don't know, but I'm guessing he's going to leave this tragic hero in his deck. 17, 22, 23. If he would have trashed his mining village, he could triple province. As is, I expect this to be double province tragic hero. I think it's time to start provincing though. Like the pile out isn't really a threat, but just scoring points is nice, and having the provinces in your deck for all of these chariot races is also nice. both the tragic heroes and one province. Does this work? I don't remember what the tragic hero split is now. So he is going to have three in his deck. There's 5 in the trash. So Tracer can't end the game here unless he gets a boon that I don't think is left. No, the boon must be left because they've gone through all the boons. So if he gets the buy boon here, he could maybe win. No, he can't score enough then. Okay. So that's okay, I guess. Well, not playing the hero at that. Oh, wow, that is the buy boon. Still, you can't play this hero here. There's not enough money in your. Well, you can't score enough points to win the game. Because this is only this many points. And even if he could pile out now, it would take all of his buys to empty the lost cities, so. Not sure that I like bishoping the gold there over like bishoping a copper. So it's 2 money now, but yeah, it seems sketch. Definitely get a province. You do have to worry about RTT ending the game, so having the lead is going to be good. Getting the leprechaun helps a bit with that kind of thing. He's now out of tragic heroes, so yeah. One duchy is slightly less than 2 estates, but I think it's better. This is coming together pretty well for RTT. I think. Play the bard now, see what you get. This is interesting with the chariot race. So he thinks he is getting around, but the only way he's getting around is if he pops this hero? So that looks like a mistake to me. 10, 13, 17. But it's like all of this stuff's really hard. RTT could score enough. No, he could get enough buys to end the game, but he can't also score enough points. So this is going to be like double province, I think. And then he's going to be buys short. He also gets a leprechaun and a groundskeeper, and that's got to be a province with the last one. Not a good turn for Tracer, but it looks like RTT might have a similarly bad turn coming up. I think RTT's deck is still a little better because he has more lost cities, if I recall. Let's check. He played them all last turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's up 4-2 on the lost city split, so his deck is better. Play the GK, obviously. Bishop. I assume you play bishop here. Or you do this. You buy province. You slam a province. You slam a province. Yep. You stick the gold back. You chariot race into it. RTT has Lost City is a pretty good card there. Wow, RTT looks in very, very, very good shape now. Very, very, very good. One, two, three, four, 5, 6. Okay, so Tracer's given up on being able to. I guess he had the leprechaun in his last hand, so this makes sense to do. Um, what you trash is tricky here. Well, RTT, what he trashes is not tricky. You should definitely trash this copper. GK, Bard. Do you play Lep or not? I don't think so. He does. Gets Poverty, which is actually not bad at all. Yeah, maybe you have to take the risk there. You go Duchy Estate. You're way behind in points. It's pretty bad looking. Although these four cards are okayish. Pearl Diver Groundskeeper. Okay, so he's saying, well, if the game's gonna end soon, I'm gonna lose anyway, so I might as well build some more. That makes some sense. You start with Lost City here, and then you play your hero. Wisp on top. Fortunately for Tracer, RTT had a lot of cheap stuff, so he didn't get to take full advantage of Wisp on top. This is pretty good for RTT, I think. Um, he should take this. He's probably thinking about whether he wants to discard copper or gold. I don't know if he has enough draw to do the other that he didn't do here. Taking a mining village seems fine. Trashing it seems, I don't know, fine, I guess. Trashing this is also a consideration. Given that he's always going to be popping this hero, I think he should have played it sooner. I think, but it's not entirely clear, of course. Um, okay. So now this is 9, 10, 11. He has 18 or 19, depending on what he trashes here. I don't know what they're saying one short. He's missing buys to be able to empty either of the piles, so that's never a consideration. So I think it's just, yeah, you do this, you score a ton of points, and I think this effectively puts the game more or less out of range, because with the Earth's Gift being gone, there's just not going to be a way to get enough gains to gain enough green cards, even with the extra groundskeepers, even if you could draw them all. I guess, there's Bishop or whatever to score a lot more points, and if he can get his, oh, you're going to go ahead and trash this copper, of course. You don't trash the cop. Why don't you trash the copper? It's not going to matter really, but it's just better to. Um, Here he's going to trash gold. You can't play for getting that much luckier. And then buy a province, I guess. If there's then a total dud, he scores 5 points off of his chariot races and gets province duchy and has a couple groundskeepers in play. Like maybe in that case it would be close. I don't know. It's not happening, of course. This would give him 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This lets him buy province, so he should trash it. Trash it, trash the estate. What? I also don't understand the GG comment. But I would have trashed that mining village so I could buy province. Yep. Counting is hard. Okay. So we get there, we buy the province, we score a bunch of points. Honestly, I don't think it was really making a difference there. Even if RTT just got the duchy, he's still going to win the game. Um, Again, this seems like a weirdly timed GG comment. I mean, RTT has effectively won, but it's not like Tracer's gonna blow the game up on himself here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can play Lost City and now Leprechaun. Boom! Wish value. Oh, I see why the GG comment. I retract my confusion. RTT has it in hand. Yeah, 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 yeah. Double duchy. Yeah. I kind of feel like the biggest deal was the extra lost cities. But obviously there's some luck and some other business there. Oh, is that it? Is that all? I can never keep track of how many games we're at and all that stuff. Definitely some chariot race luck and some other stuff going on, but yeah. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching this commentary video. Um, Thanks for watching. Leave comments, questions. Tell me where I was wrong, where I missed something, where I'm being stupid. All of that kind of stuff. And yeah, we'll catch you all on a later video. Thanks for watching.